Hey guys, welcome to Faz Radio. Let's get started. Hey, OpenSea has been having some issues the last few days. I bought some NFTs off of it, and I know what I need to do. I bought some NFTs, and it didn't update either wallet for like 30 minutes. And that didn't work. And so it didn't update the wallets, and so finally, I went to the blockchain just to verify that the transaction happened, and it did happen. Just OpenSea refused to admit it. So OpenSea has what's probably they probably have what's called an eventually consistent UI model. They're basically a UI to the blockchain. They just do blockchain activities for you, and of course, they have a smart contract that does things for you. That automates a number of things, and then when it's done, they go and show you what the blockchain looks like. However, they've been getting slammed. Apparently, they're almost more popular than eBay now. So they've been getting slammed. And so when you make a request to do something, it just throws your request on a queue. And it just goes, okay, the page will refresh whenever. However, you want the page to refresh pretty quick. So it'll show you like the frame of the page and everything else of the page. And if it's not refreshed, it'll just show you the previous page. So if you buy something, it has I don't think you're ever looking at a live version of any page on OpenSea. You're looking at the latest like cached version of data. So anyway, I bought my item, and it took 30 minutes to represent in OpenSea that it was mine. And what got me, and it's been doing some other things like, so I buy some items in rapid succession. So I have 3 pages up, and I do the first one, buy the first one, buy the second one. But then when I go buy the second one, I click purchase with MetaMask. And as soon as I do that, it doesn't ask anything from MetaMask. It just goes, bang, your purchase has been confirmed. Well, if you do the research, you'll find out it has not been confirmed because it didn't go through MetaMask. It has to go through MetaMask to do this purchase because OpenSea can't just hand you anything. It has to have MetaMask give it permission. So it's been lying to me lately, telling me that I bought things that I haven't. So that's something you might want to be aware of. If you ever buy anything on OpenSea, be sure to look in your wallet afterward and make sure it arrives. So today, guys, we're getting into NFTs and gas fees. And I might have just included a little clip of me complaining about my OpenSea purchase, which is pretty good information. Anyway, continue, Mr. Titan, to say that what you're almost going to say, and I cut you off.
I don't even remember now.
I was talking about you better go in your wallet and verify that you've made a purchase in OpenSea, because OpenSea is just a UI to a blockchain, and it's been messing up. It's been telling me I've been buying things that I haven't bought yet.
Well, I'm not so sure it's OpenSea completely because I just, while you were doing the intro there, I had sent a couple $100 of ETH over from my Trust wallet to Kraken. And it shows completed. It shows 102 transactions or verifications complete, and it is not in Kraken yet. And it doesn't show any incoming transactions there either. Just like I'm not showing, it's showing completed on all the transactions when we were horsing around with this Polygon NFT thing. It shows that they're completed. It shows that they're successful, but it's not showing up in any wallets. So I'm wondering if ETH isn't having its own set of problems at the moment on top of whatever OpenSea issues there are.
Yeah, it could be a combination then. I would assume it might even be that if you were to complain to OpenSea and they actually had customer service, which I'm not sure if they do, they might say, yeah, it's the interaction between our tool and Ethereum that's an issue.
Yeah, and if it's backed up like it was, it could have confirmations but not be written yet either.
True. So getting back to what we were talking about, what were we talking about?
NFTs is supposed to be our topic today.
Today, our topic is NFTs and high gas fees. But we've had a lot of gas fees this week. The gas has been insane for the last 7 days.
Beyond insane.
And I believe what it is due to a lot of people minting NFTs on the Ethereum blockchain. And I mean, NFTs have gone through the roof this last week. It's kind of funny because the media has just been recently reporting that NFTs are dead. And it seems that whenever the media starts poo-pooing NFTs, then millions of dollars start getting spent on NFTs. It's crazy. It just boggles my mind the amount of you think it's foolish money being spent on little pictures. There's NFTs out there where you're just buying a number. I don't know if you know this, but there's one last night. A friend of mine found it for me, where you're buying a certified ANFT. You just muted, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, because it jumped up. I wonder what happened. Anyway, you're buying a certified ANFT, which is a certified number. And so if you look that up on OpenSea, certified ANFTs, he showed me the number 1953, and all of them are free, but you have to pay gas fees. So obviously I'm not going to buy one. And so I made an offer like for 0.0000001 Ethereum. And whenever you make an offer, that means the person who accepts the offer has to pay the gas. So he'll never accept it.
Of course not.
But I mean, if you're going to give me an NFT for free, I'll be happy to take it. So these NFTs that are certified numbers, and now recently, the new thing is something called loot, loot bags or loot. I might be getting it wrong, but what you're buying is a text listing of, like, I have a sword and I have a shield and I have some chainmail and stuff like that. You're just buying a loadout for a D&D character. But these text loadouts as NFTs are selling for thousands of Ethereum a piece. And basically they're kind of like Miranda's Land from Gala Games, Miranda's Land or Decentraland Land, or they're like game assets, but without the game. They're literally just loadouts so that you can make a game around it. And apparently they're supposed to be random to some degree so that somebody hasn't influenced it. So that's messed up. I don't even know what to think, that people pay thousands of Ethereum, and Ethereum's at like 4,000 right now. Thousands of Ethereum for just an inventory listing. Text.
Anybody can make an NFT about anything. And really, it's like anything else in the world. It's worth what somebody else will pay for it. So when people say, hey, I bought a picture of a rock for, $400,000, it's worth $400,000 to somebody. But people can't wrap their heads around that.
Well, people can't, because rich people, if you're a rich person, you can afford to do Mickey Mouse crap like that. But if you're not a rich person, you can't take part in that silliness. And so I understand that a picture of something can have value. The Mona Lisa has value. The Mona Lisa is just a picture. It's paint on canvas. And the reason people value it is because of who made it. Made by Leonardo da Vinci, and he has cool looking pictures and everybody wants them, and there's not enough. That's why. The only difference with an NFT is, instead of being on canvas, it's stored electronically. And it's been made so that this electronically stored picture is limited. There might just be one of these pictures ever. I think people are having a hard time wrapping their minds around it because they know it's very easy to copy electronic things. They can they can make a copy of the photo that they see, or the picture that they see online that's an NFT, and they think, well, now I have one. But it's not the fact that you have that photo, it's the fact that you don't have the certified photo. So it's like you making literally a photocopy of the Mona Lisa. And that's where the whole discussion breaks down is somebody will post a picture online of, look, I just made a copy of your NFT, why have this as an NFT? And I'd say, well, I can send you a picture of the Mona Lisa. So why would you care about that price? And that's where it breaks down. They're like, that's different. I can hang it on my wall. And I'm like, well, you can't, with an NFT, I can display it anywhere I want. I can anything that's electronic. I can even print it out and put it on my wall. I can do both. The difference is mine's not flammable. You can't set my NFT on fire. My NFT will not degrade unless it's been designed to, but it won't degrade. It's permanent. There's millions of copies on millions of servers, and it's effectively nuclear bomb proof. You cannot nuke my picture out of existence. You'd have to nuke all the servers. Can't do that with the Mona Lisa.
No. And I think this goes back to when you and I first discovered the whole NFT minting process, when we were playing around with minting our own and such. Apparently, there's a couple of different ways to mint them, whether or not it's editable later, and what options you select, and where you host the photograph that maybe goes along with that. And whether it can be edited later, and by whom, whether it's the owner or the creator. So I think the problem now is, yet again, the Wild West with this, especially in the last couple of weeks. Are people minting these the right way for the intent that they have for that? So if you were to go buy a $300,000 picture of a rock, and can someone go back in and change that to a picture of a Maserati, which it would then at that point render it useless? And is the hash, and that's where I'm going with this, is the hash what's valuable, or what it is?
It's the provenance. Okay, so the thing is, if you were to buy a painting, if I were to get a hold of the Mona Lisa, first of all, I believe it's in the Louvre right now. But the first thing that would happen if I actually got the actual Mona Lisa is nobody would believe me. I'd have it on my wall. I'd say, look at this. And I'd show it to people and they'd be like, dude, that's in a museum. It's whenever you get expensive art, it's not about anymore about you having the art. It's about who can verify it. Because then, if I can't sell it, if I try to sell the Mona Lisa, that the first thing they're going to say is, wait a minute, how did it leave from the place that we knew it was at, which was the Louvre, to your house? So how did it get to your house? So that's what provenance is. And so if you have a good artist like Banksy or something that makes a really cool photo, and we know he only made one electronically, there is literally, effectively, functionally, physically, everything, no difference between that and the Mona Lisa. It is a good, valid picture of, that Banksy has made. And so the certificate or the blockchain transaction is an unhackable, certifiable way to say that you own it.
So then the value of that is not even based on what people would pay for it. It's based on the creator then, using that theory, because
the word is
if you made only one zip bug, it is not going to be as valuable as the Mona Lisa because you are not famous.
The Mona Lisa is valuable because Leonardo da Vinci is famous.
The person, right. So your zip bugs, if it turns out that you're actually Bansky in your secret identity, okay, and then you have your zip bugs up, I'll bet you those are worth 100,000 a piece. So it's based on who creates it, not what people are willing to pay, not the blockchain, not the hash. Okay. It's only based on the how famous the creator is.
Let me go back to the word provenance. And, provenance, really what it means is where it came from. It's not always who made it. So CryptoPunks are an example of something that's popular. That's something that is worth a lot of money. And it's not because of the creator, it seems. It's actually because it was one of the first sets of NFTs out there, and they've been around for a while, and they got popular. Basically, a rich person bought it, in my opinion, or bought a whole bunch, and then they started advertising, and then it became a thing. And so it doesn't always, if my zip bugs that I made start getting bought, if it gets bought by one sports personality that's really influential and he says these zip bugs are cool, people are going to buy the shit out of them, and then they're going to get really popular, and then I'll probably be bought out like that because I only have like 60 of them. And then people will, if I continue to be a fad, every one that I make will sell for a lot of money. So you can be valuable for various reasons, but the important part with an NFT is that it came from you. Um, OpenSea tries to help you out there by saying, like, by trying to verify the authenticity or the validity of the person who made it, which was I believe you tested buying one of my zip bugs earlier today, and it gave you a confidence score, which probably has a lot to do with how many of my own items or how many of those zip bugs I sold, and to how many people. If I sold them to 50,000 people, probably the confidence score is way up. So there's a lot of factors that are currently still being built as to the importance of an NFT, the validity of an NFT, and so on. And provenance is the main one. You know that the zip bugs came from me. The one problem might be, and we know that they came from my wallet. One problem might be, what happens if my wallet gets hacked? What happens if my wallet gets hacked and somebody else puts out zip bugs? Are they mine? Are they as valuable? Or better yet, what if somebody starts putting out zip bug clones under the name zip bugs and have everything? Will their stuff be bought instead of mine? Maybe they'll say, I moved to a new wallet. Well, the good news with the blockchain is I can go to a court of law and I can say, this is my wallet. I can prove that this is my wallet, or I could prove that I sent stuff to this wallet, or before it got stolen, I could prove that I made and uploaded stuff. I have the original files. The important part is I have hashes, and I have transaction times and transaction dates, and I have a documented paper trail to show you the provenance of my items. You can't do that if I were to just be selling zip bugs on the street.
Very true.
So now anybody can do what an art dealer did 50 years ago. So if I say 50 years ago I made zip bugs, or actually 40 years ago, almost 40 years ago is when I started first drawing them for myself as a kid. So if I started selling them in 1983, when if I started selling them back then, the only way I could guarantee provenance is to have an art house or a publisher or somebody verify or validate who I am. And so you'd know you're getting zip bugs from the actual Faz back in 1983. Well, that costs a lot of money. So I might not have, I was young back then, but, even if I wasn't, I might not have had enough money to do all that or to put all that into place. Well, with blockchains, all that's automatic now. We've just fired all the art dealers out there because nobody needs to verify or validate the provenance of anything, any NFTs anymore. So people are having a hard time wrapping their minds around the fact that this stuff is just done automatically, and it's done electronically, in an electronic medium.
Okay. So there's several things that can make it valuable. Okay. And it just depends on what it is. And you have to factor in a lot of those things. So if I got really super famous and I put out a tweet that said, hey, I love these zip bugs, that could make them famous as well. So
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the actual NFT. It just has to do with where the hype is coming from, and if the hype is valid.
Isn't that true about anything?
Well, sort of. A lot of people, well, we could argue, go down the wormhole and say, well, you could say that about tokens, because you have your XRP fans and you have your XRP other side that says, it's a shit coin. So it depends, who's that come from? Well, Elon Musk's saying that Dogecoin is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Some people buy into it, some people still don't. So what makes Doge as valuable as it is?
Coins, just like stocks, really suffer from, stocks are the same way. If you have some people talking up the stock, it's a big deal. But stocks are labeled specifically as securities. And so if you start talking up a stock, the SEC will want to meet with you. Now, with coins, people can get away with pumping coins right now because the SEC has not been very clear on that. Despite them saying that they've been very clear on that, they've not been very clear on that, to the point where they have a big long case against Ripple that it looks like they're losing. And because of this case, the things that they have said about XRP have been tanking XRP. So, it depends on who says it. And the reason that the SEC saying bad things about XRP tanks XRP is because what they're doing will make it worth less if it's harder to use. It's going to be harder to use. People won't want to use it. So that's why the value will go up and down. Remember, this is pricing. NFTs and crypto are very, very similar. Social value matters. Looks like we've run out of time for this one, and we're going to have to shut this one down. So that's all we got for now, guys.